Let's begin the hello people. Jerry speaking. Welcome to Crazy Bunch Web Show, episode number 130. Today we're doing not one, not two, but 4 depth topics today, and we got some of the news topics we're gonna discuss for this week. So excuse me, I got Gatorade in my mouth. But let's talk about some right now, shall we? What we got for us? Let's talk about parental scales, my dad. Born Margaret Wilmy Ingersworth, okay? She was best known professionally as parental scales, okay? She was best known as a English actress, okay? She was best known for a professional portrayal as of the Fourways, the BBC television sitcom Fawley Towers from 1975 until 1979. And performance as Queen Elizabeth II and Ellen Bennett's Queen of Reputation 1991, which earned BAFTA nomination. She will appear in the documentary series Great Cattle Journeys from 2014 to 2019. Traveled always in the UK and blonde her husband, the actor Timmy West. She was born on June 22nd, 1942 in Somerset, Surrey, England. The daughter of John Richardson Ingersworth, a column salesman and told who serves a retaliate with Minister regarding the First World War and with the Austrian Military Pioneers Corps in the Second World War. And Catherine Nee Scales, who was best known as Spam, an actress who in the time attended Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, was later the Liverpool's Playhouse Repertory Comedy. Ingersworth was a younger brother, Timo Ingersworth, 1934 to 2017, who became Lieutenant Colonel of the Royal Irish Rangers, who was born at OBE in the 1984 New York Honors. In 1949, at the start of the Second World War, Ingersworth's family moved to Bucks Bills near Byford, Devon. In 1942, Ingersworth was awarded the scholarship in the Memorial House School, okay, which had been evacuated from East Barn to a hotel on Wintermar in the Lake District. Her mother, brother, accommodated her. She carried her on her schooling when the Morehouse School returned to East Barn, my dad. She did well in Morehouse School with the courage to apply in Oxbridge, my dad. Anyway, but have become interested in high acting as she was able to play people much more interesting than I am, who would say things definitely more intelligent than anything I can fake of myself. She was awarded a scholarship in a 2-year course at the Old Vic Theatre School in 1949. She was able to scar her mother's maiden name, Scales, as a stage name. Wow, okay. Her early works and start her career began with this. She started her career in 1951, assistant stage manager at the Bishop Old Vic, for that, saying that she always wanted to be an actress. Throughout her career, she was often cast in comic roles. Excuse me. Anyways, her early work included the not believed to be lost second UK adaptation of Pride and Prejudice in 1952, Laxdale Hall in 1953, Austin Choice 1954, Marriage Major in the West End of Broadway from 1954 and 1955, Woman at the Top 1958, and Walls in the Terriers 1952. Her career break came in the early 1960s sitcom Merge Lines, with starring opposite Richard Burr, my dad. She played her most famous role, Showboat Crawley, in the sitcom Fawley Towers, over 2 series in 1975 and 1979. In addition to this, she had roles in BBC Radio 4 sitcoms, comedy series that include After Henry, Selma of Roses, and Ladies of Letters. On television series she starred in the London Weekend television in Channel 4 series Map and Lucia, something like that. Anyway, based on the novels by E.F. Benson. In 1973, Scales was cast with Ronnie Barker on One Man's Meat, something like that. Which was formed by part of Barker's 71 series, also with the BBC. Her later film appearances include Escape in the Dark 1976, Howling in the Box, Daredevil 1978, Boys in Brazil in the same year, Wicked Fit Late 1978, 1983, something. Anyway, missed about the year wrong. But anyway, Lonely Passion of Judith R 1987, Lonely Passions 1988, Chorus of Disposal 1989. Anyways, Harv's End 1992, Wolf 1994, Hard Big Musical The Year I Was Born, Stipple Lips 1997. But we see television Shakespeare production of Mary Wise of Winston 1982. She played Mistress Page, and in the pre-night series BBC, she appeared alongside her husband, Timothy West, and Joe Orson stars with the Butter Shaw of 1987. Same year, Barry 1987, at the top row below on the Joey Plays and George Hart. Playing Mrs. Princess, anyway, pronounce it anyway. 1990s and onwards. In the early 90s, Scale returned this role in the Map and Lucia, recording an Upbridge audiobook adaptation of Mrs. Map in 1990, Map Lucia the same year, Lucia's Progress in 1992, for ISIS audiobooks, winning an audiophile earphones award for the record. They were released in 2014. 2024, so we're good. Missed about the years long. Again. But anyway, in 1992, Scales appeared on the BBC Radio 4's District Island Day, something like that. Programming that were guests are asked to decide which one book. Luxury Item and 8 audio records that were one to them, one for them. It should be staring at the District Desert Island, something like that. Chosen books for the completed works of Shakespeare in German, wow. The Bible in Russian, and the Russian Dictionary, wow. The Luxury Item was a huge textbook kit. For 10 years, Scales appeared as Dolly Turnwell, wow. Together with James Oryx, and the character daughter, Kate Neal, and advertisements of UK supermarket chain Tesco. She played Queen Elizabeth II in Alan Bennett's A Questionable Variation in 1991. In 1996, Scales starred in the television film War Mistral alongside Richard Wilson, Emily Marmer, and Stephen Boyer. The film was directed by Jai Jenkins, and filming took place in Fort Wayne and Cornwall. The same year, she appeared as Mrs. Bates in Emma, a television movie adaptation of James Austen's novel with the same name. In 1997, Scales starred in Chris Barford's science fiction film short Phoenix, which was first aired in 1999 by ABC Universal Sci-Fi Channel. Wow. Scales played Clint and the evil government minister funding intergalactic time travel experiments. The same year, she played Minnie Staker in the comedy film Mad Cows, directed by Sarah Sugarman. In 1994, Scales voiced Mrs. Tiggy Winky. Wow. Okay, never heard that name before. In the Mid-War Rabbit in France. Okay, makes sense. Anyway. In 2000, Scales appeared in the film The Ghost of Greenville Lodge. The same year, in 2000, anyway, she appeared as Ella Bonwell in Midsummer Murders Beyond the Grave. And in 2001, she appeared in 2 episodes of Silent Witness, Faith as Mrs. Parker. And in 2003, she appeared as who must be obeyed. Yeah, Wyman Horace Walpole. In 4 BBC Radio 4 plays, with Timothy West playing her fictional husband. Scale West toured in Australia at the same time she in different productions. Scales appeared in one-woman show called An Evening with Queen Victoria, which also featured the tenor Ian Partridge singing songs written by Prince Albert. Anyway, Scales performed An Evening with Queen Victoria more than 400 times in theaters around the world over the course of 4 years. Wow. Scales voiced the speaking comedy role of Magpie. MSP in 2003 recorded Joshua Wesley's opera La Scala and Radra, better known as The Female Magpie. In 2003, the same year, she played Queen Elizabeth II in the film Johnny English. In 2006, Scales appeared in television production of The Shell Seekers, alongside Vanessa Redgrave and Maximum Show, something like that. Later years, in 2007, on November 16, Scales appeared in Children Need. Okay. It was the inspired role of Shibby Sprawley, new manager who wanted to take her over Hotel Bellevue. John Cleese said in the interview that the role of Shibby Sprawley was originally offered to Bridget Turner, who turned down the part. Scales appeared in the audio play The Youth of Old Age, produced in 2008 by the Water's PR Company. Available to download for free and charge in the website. Same year, she appeared in Andrew Christie's and Miss Mabel's A Pocket Full of Rye. Wow. Scales also appeared in production of Charlie's War, the native modern novel, with the West End Apollo appeared in 2009. The run was successful despite million reviews. However, Ben Bradley, writer of the New York Times, Hours and Beats, stated this, that Scales was the most memorable about the show, play a rich, honorable, like, a colleague who traveled through their house in evening gals, something like that. Wow. But anyway. Excuse me, anyway. Scales starred in the 2011 British live-action 3D family comedy film, Horror Henry the Movie. Wow. Title characters, Great Aunt Grab. Wow. She appeared in the short audio story, Direct Hits the Turtleneck, written by John Mayfield. Available to download, Scales also appeared in a short film called Stranger Danger, alongside Rebecca Colley in 2012. In 2013, she made a guest appearance on the popular BBC radio comedy Kevin Pressure as Winnie Tripp, the mother Captain Marncraft. Wow. Alongside her husband, Scales also appeared in Great Cow Juries for Channel 4 in 2014 for 10 series. Wow. Along with the foreign health brought her television career to an end. Story highlights regarding saying this in November 2016. Comedy that is a mystery of working that about the body couple facing something huge together. It is a beautiful programming. Wow. An emotional but unrooted glimpse of a life with dementia. Was Christopher Hall's character in October 2018. Wife of the Telegraph. Reviewing Scales and West. Last episode in October 2019 for The Guardian. Jack Steele wrote, this is the first installment in 2014. The series was charged with the long, slow goodbye that is living with dementia. Cherishing every minute and precious normally, and celebrate how the immersion in nature is a celebrate way to bring the old pearl back. Personal life, illness, and death. Scales was married to actor Tiffany West from 1963 until his death in 2024. The marriage produced 2 sons. The elder is actor and director Samuel West. Scales also has a stepdaughter by West's first marriage. Scales and West share a common hobby of snowboarding. Her biography, Prada, written by Taylor Weston, was published by UK imprint John Murray in 2005. Same year, she named the P&O cruise ship on test. Wow. She was a patron of the Lace Margaret Prior in Nottingham. She and her husband were also patrons of Beyond Autism. Wow. From 1997 to 2002, she was president of CBRB. At the time, it was known as Causal Depression of Racial England. Wow. Her illness and death. Scarlett's husband was first known with signs of memory difficulties in 2001. Well, she was performing a Greenwich Fear. Wow. She eventually diagnosed with vascular dementia in 2013. Wow. In 2013, she was in an interview. The sad thing that you just can't just watch the gradual disappear as a person that you knew, loved, and you were very close to. Wow. The diagnosis did not prevent her from taking part in the great casual journeys, in which she and her husband spoke openly about her illness. Her declining health led to a couple of leave the series in 2019, interview with BBC in 2023. Soon after celebrating the Diamond wedding anniversary, West said this, with reference to the scales dementia. Somehow we have coped with it and Prue doesn't really think about it. She died at her home in London on last Monday. She was 93 years old. Treatments following what caused the entertainment industry and beyond John Cleese betrayed her on-screen husband in Polly Towers, whose 86th birthday she died. Praised her as a really wonderful comic actress. Wow. According to her sons, she has been watching the sitcom the day before her death. BBC comedy director John Percy called her a national treasure. Bloggers and Giles Barrett remember her as a funny, intelligent, gift, and human being. And Ambassador Scotty called her openness about living with dementia, describing her as an inspiration. My next step topic has to do with Perry Roberts. Born William Perry Roberts. He was best known as an American radio disc jockey and an on-air personality for WMMR in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He spent 44 years in the station from 1981 until his death in 2025. Roberts, a prominent WMMR personality, sometimes described as a hippie by locals. He often addressed listeners as citizens, saying, "Great day in the morning." Robert interviewed several figures in the American rock music industry. He went on imagined by rock musicians and groups, including John Bon Jovi, Dave Grohl, and Eddie Vedder, many of whom gave Roberts rare interviews or appeared in person on his program. He was born August 1st, 1955 in Truckee, California. Wow. His career began with this, okay? He began his radio career at 94.9 KASAN FM in San Francisco, California. One of the country's first progressive rock stations. Wow. When KSAN changed its format to urban country and western format in the early 1980s, Robert assumed the on-air name Robert Wilson for the brief period of time before he was opposed to the new format. No longer, Robert drove his friend to school in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 1970, one of Roxanne's fans, they named, Monrovia. But he died in the brow tires. Wow. He spent 93.3 WMMR, some of that demo tape, but was eventually turned down to production with the station. He took a job at Enzy, wow, a health food store, vegetarian restaurant. He later had been greeted by a farmer on South Street who told him, "You gotta get a letter very soon." He returned to the found a letter from Joe Barlia, then WMMR station manager. Wow. He couldn't free Barrett's opening. Barr joined WMMR in 1981. Robert held silver positions at WMMR, including broadcasting during the morning, overnight, and midday shifts. The latest time slots were from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Through his program initially started late and run longer. Initially, he referred to a per stereotype. Wow, okay, that's a nickname for him. But anyway, featured the show, including the Charlie Break Music Marathon, Paris Power, and the Workforce Blocks. Wow. During which he played 3 or 4 songs by the popular artists based on listeners' requests. In the 1980s, regular the bar joined Paris in the kicking off the Workforce Blocks by ringing the lunchtime bell. Wow, okay. Robert also featured a vinyl cut where he plays a track of one of the many vinyl records in the WMMR archive. Wow. He was also known for playing 18 minutes and 20 seconds in Oliver Kudrowski's Alice restaurant multiple times during his annual Thanksgiving broadcast. Robert admitted that he did not follow Philadelphia sports. I understand that. But it was usually the sports Ahmed say. He typically referred to all Philadelphia sports team as Boys and the Blue. Regardless in the actual team sports colors, as Ronnie Joe, he would know him to say the phrase "sports up." More during this overlap towards the end of Fred and Steve show in the morning. In January 2024, Robert signed a multi-year contract with a station at WMMR. He was found dead in his home last Wednesday. He was 7 years old. The next step, top has to have Scott Sorry, born Gerald Scott. He was best known by his stage name as Scott Sorry. He was an American singer and songwriter. Part of being a solo artist, Scott played with A-Man, the band. Anyway, the Wild Hearts, started in the Sinatras, and briefly Brides of Destruction. Life and career, born on October 30th, 1978. Best known for the band A-Man from 2003 to 2005. After playing several major pop bands in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Scott joined U.S. pop rockers A-Man on their 2003 to Join or Die tour, playing the band until late 2005 when he quit the group. By destruction in 2005, following the departure of founder Nikki Sixx, Sorry was announced as his new bassist and the hard rock supergroup By Destruction, along with the Wild Heart singer and future bandmates Ginger, who departed the group soon after they began writing new material. They released the album Runaway Brides, produced by A. Johns, in Europe in September 13 and on September 27 in the US. The video shot for White Trash, both the album, the single failed to chart, sadly. Part of the tour, Sorry was played by Tracy Gunn's stepson, Jeremy Guns, on bass. The Wild Hearts 2006 2009 until 2014. Wow, okay. In 2006, Sorry joined the new lineup of the Wild Hearts, recording an album of January 2007, the Wild Hearts album. The album was released on April 23rd, producing 2 weeks earlier than the only single, Sweetest Song. On May 19, 2008, the Wild Hearts released an all-covers album, Somebody to be heard of this one before, Volume 1. Album's covers include Icicle Works, Fox Manette Hamlet, There's Works Manette is Chance, and the Georgia Satellites. The first version of the album was a download-only collection of 12 tracks. The band traveled to Denmark to record the night studio Charlesbourg. It was released on August 31st, 2009. Followed a tour in the United Kingdom in September and October. And these shows, the band played the new record in its entirety. Followed its encore by an encore of all their songs. Okay, okay. The band won the award for Spirit and the appearance in 2009's Curry Awards, as well as playing the beginning of stage during the Birth UK Summer Festival. On November 25th, 2009, the Wild Hearts announced the release of Jabbar Jr., a media album release composed of tracks released during the composition sessions, but even released 3 tracks on the South website. Both tracks of the Japanese version released on the released tracks for the session. Songs never joined the Wild Hearts from the 2012 formation due to the competitive commitments. He was replaced by Ram John Paul. but we were joined by the band early in 2014 in the UK tour. Wow. Sorry to Sinatra's 2007-2014. Wow. Sorry eventually met Rogers Rags sequel and Temple, North Carolina, where he was on tour with his previous band, Brides Destruction in 2005. While Siegel and Thomas were both in Brides support at Trashlight Visions, Sorry started recording on new material with Black Belt guitarist Danny Sinatra when Trashlight Vision had split up. Siegel and Thomas then linked up with Sorry and Sinatra to form the new group Sorry Sinatras. They announced in June with the first date in the UK, taking place in August, at the Asylum in Birmingham, England. Anyway, and at the Bar Academy in London. The group entered the studio in September in Boston, UK, with the producer Jason Somerson. The album was completed in less than 3 weeks. High Bar Roll was released on May 11, 2009, was generally well received by British music critics. When the tour in the UK planned to be postponed until October, that with the band touring the East Coast of the US in August. Solo career 2015 to 2025. In February 2015, Sorry announced plans to release his first solo album, When We Were Keys. It was a campaign on their Patch Music platform, achieving 47% in this individual goal. Well, the album was eventually released on March 18, 2016, debuting on the official UK rock charts at number 2, Video Web Vlogs magazine awarded 9 out of 10. On October 30, 2021, Scott released his first new single in 6 years, Black Dog Dancers, and released via Jared X-Ray Records. Sal is married to Honey, and they had 3 children. He was diagnosed with dementia, was born with brain cancer in 2018. He died of a disease on his 47th birthday, October 30th, 2025. My last step top has with Ralph Senesky, born Ralph Abbott Senesky. He was an American television director and screenwriter, born in Mason City, Iowa, on May 1st, 1923. Wow. And attended Mason City High School. He studied at Paramount's Playhouse, worked as a stage director and production supervisor for that, before directing the television. Sinsky directed multiple episodes from dozens of television shows, as well as made for TV films from 1988 to 1988, including The Fugitives from that, the original series of Star Trek, The Polish Family, and The Waltons. He retired in 1988 and had a small sense of directing series, including theater production and film shorts. He turned 100 on May 1st, 2023, with the death of Robert Butter on November 3rd, 2023. Since it was the last surviving person he had directed in an episode of Star Trek in 1966. He died in comedy by the sea in California on November 1st, 2025, which is yesterday. He was 102 years old. Now, let's do a more with regards to not 1, not 2, but 4 depth topics right now. Thank you. Rest in peace, these 4 people that I've just mentioned here. Now, before I begin the whole thing, let's talk about Bohemian Rhapsody real quick. I wasn't going to talk about the other news of the day, I'll talk about this right now. Let's talk about Bohemian Rhapsody for a moment here. And it's celebrated its 50th anniversary this past on October 31st. So let's talk about it now. Okay? Bohemian Rhapsody just turned 50 this past weekend. Now, Bohemian Rhapsody 50th anniversary of a new video series, okay? Special 5-part series explores the new musical vision that led to the band's biggest rock track, which turns 50 last Friday. Now, what I say about that? Well, To celebrate the 50th anniversary of Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen have released a special 5-part new installment of their series, The Greatest, exploring the musical abomination that led to one of their most favorite iconic songs. The first episode of the Pat Bohemian Rhapsody appears last Friday. Queen's more official YouTube channel. The series joined past episodes of Brian May and Roger Taylor's series covering the origins, The Famous Brian May Show, and more. Excuse me. Remember installments in the series, it features exclusive interviews with Brian May and Roger Taylor, and, well, Bohemian Rhapsody shot the music industry and the creative techno premises for that. As Brian May and Roger Taylor tells it, the song represented the natural programming rather than a gradual departure. Brian May explained this. It didn't feel like that way from the inside. You can already got a look at this first album with My Fairy King. Wow. May identifies My Fairy King, a track from 1983's the Queen's debut album. And already the direction will be direction Freddie Mercury's songwriting with tape, PL pace, complex mood changes, and finale mind lyrics. Taylor also pointed to Martha Black Queen from 1974's Queen 2 as an even more direct producer. Something like that. It's a lot more comparison in many ways than Bohemian Rhapsody. Taylor said, highlighted the track's number of sessions and other vocal arrangements. Finally, the quality guitarist cited this. Fire Maestro, another Queen 2 track, featuring the colleges of combined ranges, commercials from that. Involvements of 6-part harmonies. And then early in Chapter 2, Bohemian Rhapsody, it's a comedy Taylor noted. It's a nice imagery track with a comedy over variation. May also music the Mercury's and Parsons, Chris and Parsons sharing this. You didn't know where Freddie was coming from. He was coming in and goes, there's this bit and there's another bit we would do, and there's an operating session. You ever dive in and the whole Queen March machine swings into action. Bohemian Rhapsody Focus series continues weekly throughout November. In addition to the commercial series, the band will issue the track as 12 track and a set single. They also share a new vinyl edition of Night of the Opera, the 1975 album Bohemian Rhapsody appeared on. Now, that makes more sense. I gotta buy that. You know, that might make more happening. But yeah, that's that news report. Now let's move on to a couple more news to share, and that will be it for this app. And then we'll just 3 more news reports, and that'll be it. Now will be something newsy, okay? Why Dave Mustaine chose Rise of the Lightning from Megadeth's Metallica cover. Now that Megadeth's fight leader Dave Mustaine has confirmed that there will be a version of Ride the Lightning as a bonus track of the band's self-titled final album. Now, he discussed his decision publicly. Mustaine famously shares music with Metallica and songs that he worked on appeared in the first 2 albums, including the Ride the Lightning title track that he co-wrote with still in Metallica. Over the years, while credits have been in the sticking point between Mustaine, his former band, but the Megadeth leader said that the decision to take on the Ride the Lightning was actually to show the suspect for his former band and his legacy as a musician. What Dave Mustaine is saying about Megadeth recording Ride the Lightning, an Instagram post shortly after the news was reveals from that Mustaine offered this. On a new album, recorded Ride the Lightning and something like that. With the reason why we did what that was, obviously it was a song that I had to do with writing. When James Hetfield and I were working on the song, it's become clear to me. When he first started playing guitar, how good a great guitar player he was. I thought it was going to be very cool to choose the circle to show respect and play the songs that I've written with Metallica. To honor our friendship, and even though it's been shaded and ruined from emotions over the years when they were not necessarily friendly. Exactly. Continue this. One thing I've always have tremendous respect for James' guitar playing and Lars Ulrich, the songwriter. So it's cool to do this and then to record records for that. We speed up a little bit and play a lot of solo. Tomato man is why I pronounce it, so I toss up back and forth to each other, so you might hear some difference in the tempos. Of course, I sway differently from James too. But once again, it was about completing the circle. Okay, I don't know what's going on in the background. Anyway, but once again, it was about completing the circle and showing what James and I, as guitar players, did to change the world. Wow. This what we have done is I won't show it due to copyright reasons. But what else did Damon Mustaine share about Megadeth and recording Ride the Lightning? Now, it's supposed to be this. In an interview, with Rolling Stone, Mustaine shared this. It wasn't really what I wanted to do in my version, but I think that we all wanted to turn out a certain way. And for me, this is about something so much more than the song turned out. It was about respect. Exactly. It's all about, yeah, it was about respect. Anyway, now, not only is the thing about going to nod to James Hetfield, Mustaine said it was about paying homage to their own legacy, saying this. I wanted to do something to close the circle in my career. Right now, started out with the pre-Metallica band, Peg, and several other songs that ended up Metallica supported us with that. I wanted to do something that I felt would to be a good song, he shares. Now, in the versions was Paris for that, Mustaine said this. Anyway, I didn't have the reason that I was gonna go and say, oh, hey man, this thing we have in 4 years, you guys will never tour with me. Me doing the song goes and good change things. That wasn't all. Not all for that. It was more about this is my life going forward. I want to do things that are respectful. And I think doing something you're gonna play on to you guys that I hate to say is because it's just so bleep. Anyways, regardless of that. The guitar playing is Metallica changed the world. Exactly. While being very compliant of Hetfield, let's say I had this, okay? I think the whole purpose of this would not not to try anyway. Kind relationships and anything. Exactly. It was about showing respect to a man that I don't believe he thinks I respect him, and I wanted to make that clear. Exactly. I wanted to pay tribute to the band. He's added to that. And I just now that I'm going ready to hang my guitar up. Okay, that's making more sense. Anyway, I wanted to make sure that's nothing left unsaid. Exactly. Now, what's about Megadeth's final album, you may ask? Well, about a series of teased earlier this in the week, Megadeth confirms that 10 tracks that will eventually be on the subtitle album will arrive on January 23rd, 2026. Just 6 years after Jim Lehre's death. Wow. Wow. Inspiration to me. Anyway, but a day after the follow-up song, when the album was real, the singer confirmed the rumor he would record a Metallica's cover and that Ride the Lightning would be a bonus track. But that makes more sense. The band already issued Tipping Point as the leading single for the record. Pre-orders are now available. They're also available the subtitle set through the Megadeth website. In addition, Megadeth expecting a bargain farewell tour launch in 2026. But so far, initial headlines days have yet to be revealed. So, that's all for that topic. Now let's move on to the daylight savings time. That's to be event form. Changing clock. What happens to clocks, okay? Daylight savings time and today. What do you know about clocks ball back? Now, good question. Daylight savings time changes the earth and early Thursday morning. And that will be started today, November 2nd, on that following Sunday. Okay? With the clocks falling back, and now people across most of the United States getting an extra hour of sleep. Daylight savings time also occurs the second Sunday of March and ends on the first Sunday of November. despite calls to make that daylight savings time a permanent fixture in the American state today it was, failed Sunday vote earlier this week. The time change moved back forward and revealed Americans will that call an extra hour. Here's what you need to know, okay? Then you need to call up some more. Anyway, I can't do it. Anyway, there we go. I can't grow up. Thank you. Anyway, when does daylight saving time end this year? In 2025, daylight saving time ended today at 2 a.m. local time. Okay? What is daylight saving time, you may ask? Well, daylight saving time is a period between March and November, when most Americans set their clocks forward by 1 hour. In March, clocks will be set for the gain more daylight in the summer evenings. But then the clock fall back in November, it's time to add more daylight in the mornings. This is sad, man. No. Daylight savings. I don't know. You tell me. Correct term is daylight saving, not savings. Time. Anyway. However, I guess I said it correctly. But anyway, two different things. Anyways, however, your correct term is daylight savings time. I don't know. You tell me. It's commonly used. However, information in Australia, Canada, and the United States. Anyways, however, does every state observe daylight savings time? Well, no. Currently, the following states and territories do not observe daylight savings time at all, including Arizona, except for the national nations, Hawaii, American Samoa, Guam, Northern Marshall Islands, Puerto Rico, and U.S. Virgin Islands. Now, that's all for that topic. Now is the last topic of the day, and that is, of course, Georgia Bulldogs versus Florida Gators. Now, Billy and I have been talking about this all week long, last week, and we have to talk about this. Just recap, okay? Georgia Bulldogs won from 24 points and Florida Gators 20. Now, this happened to Billy and I yesterday, and we called our conversation from in between my time posting on social media, and that was all set up, you know? First game at the time, 7 points, and the 10 points for Georgia Bulldogs, and Florida Gators 10. 3 for Georgia Bulldogs. 7-7 tied up from Georgia Bulldogs, Florida Gators. 7 for Georgia Bulldogs, 7, and Florida Gators 3. They won by default, Georgia Bulldogs, and that is 24 points, and Florida Gators lost it all. So, good job, Billy. Good game. So, as a recap, Billy and I took a picture of me. Here it is. So, Billy, if you're watching this video, buddy, thank you for allowing me to be in this conversation yesterday. I do appreciate that. That's a recap for, that's all for this topic for today, news for today, and other things like that. But that was the Crazy Bunch Web Show. It's number 130. Hope you enjoy it. Same as it's going to be. Episode 131, Crazy Bunch Web Show. I'm not sure it's going to be a battle yet, but we'll figure this out for yourselves. Till next time, so join us by baby. More Crazy Bunch Web Show episode. Until say out. See ya.